Okay, team, welcome to our webinar and welcome Emma for just tuning in there. We're just going to crack in and get started, and we are recording our session tonight. So if you do have anything that you missed, we'll always be able to go back over it. But as we're going through, feel free to pop a question in. There's a little question box there where you can type questions, and I'll do my best to answer. So tonight's all about becoming a personal trainer. Is it the right thing for you? And giving you all the information that you need to make a great decision on whether this is for you. And then if you decide it is, how do you actually go about getting in the industry and where are all of our opportunities? Okay, so really exciting stuff. Now, before we crack on, or as we're cracking on, if you can just make sure the little questions area is working and type in where you're from and what's got you here tonight, and I'll rip straight into it. Okay, so here we go. First of all, I'm just going to frame it up. This is me in my office right now with my sunnies on. Okay, so this is what I look like most days, but this is what I look like today. Okay, so I only wear the pink sunnies on weekends. But anyway, enough about that. So is it the right choice? We're basically going to walk you through now what we're going to cover tonight. The first thing we're going to cover off on is becoming a personal trainer the right thing for you? Okay, because there's no point going down this rabbit hole and spending all this time and energy and money doing a course to become a personal trainer to just realize that it's not the right thing for you to be doing. Okay, so that's the first thing. I'm going to walk you through the different types of courses available. So you've got all that information, what you can expect from each of those types of courses, and some will be better suited to other people, okay, and some will be better suited to yourself. How to get job ready, what you actually need out of a course to be ready to be employed or open a business when you finish your course. Because so many PTs, quote unquote PTs, get their piece of paper but have no ability to go out and actually be employable without someone investing months and months of time into helping them get ready. Okay, I want to help you avoid being a part of the 80%. Excuse me while I choke on my almonds. Avoid being part of the 80% of people who graduate from PT school or they get their personal training certificate and never work in the industry. Okay, so obviously do not want to be part of that. And I'm going to walk you through all the available job and career paths, whether that's with PEPT here or not. And for those of you who, most of you guys watching this are probably coming from knowing a little bit about PEPT, but if you don't, that's short for Positive Existence Personal Training. And we started this business 8 years ago now. And back then it was literally just me being a personal trainer in parks and whatnot. Now we have 35 locations around Australia, and we've just launched one in India earlier this year, which is very exciting. So lots of big things happening. And a big part of that growth that we've been able to deliver, I guess, is because of the people. Okay, we've been able to create a funnel and career opportunities for people so that they can come through, get qualified as personal trainers, fit into our team, or open their own location and progress their career, and therefore open up opportunities for more people to progress their career as well. Okay, so that's really exciting, and we're going to be talking a little bit about that today. So number one, is it the right choice? Because there's literally no point going any further if you're just not made out to be a PT, or if it's just not for you. Okay, so the first thing is pretty obvious, but do you love fitness, or do you have to actually drag yourself to the gym or to go work out? Because it goes without saying, your energy is going to be infectious. So if you love it and you actually absolutely love, keeping fit yourself and going to the gym or working out or whatever it is that you love to do, that's going to rub off on other people. And without that, it's very, very difficult to motivate someone else if you can't motivate yourself. Okay, so first things first, you need to have an absolute love of fitness and helping people and helping share that, amongst other people. So there's me with a couple of clients. That's me helping them out with their bridges, being a very kind and caring personal trainer. Okay. Are you great with people? Question number two. Personal training kind of is in the title, isn't it? It's all about people. It's all about relationships. It's about helping people. It's about motivating, inspiring people, leading them, being someone that can be there to help someone who's, struggling at different times. Okay, so it's hugely people focused. So if you hate people, I would definitely not recommend becoming a personal trainer. Okay, here you can see Rachel with one of our clients here at PEPT HQ. That's where I'm talking to you from tonight, and she's awarding her with a very important client shirt, which all of our clients get once they've been coming here for 12 weeks, which is really, really cool. And lastly, are you allergic to working hard? So a lot of people get this myth about becoming a personal trainer or being a personal trainer that's cruisy, it's easy, it's an easy job. Okay, so I'm here to tell you that if you're doing it for that reason, then you should stop listening now and go find another job, because it's not easy, and that's not the whole point of it. The whole thing is, it's not about us, it's about other people, it's about helping, it's about contributing, it's about making a difference. So if you're going to be a PT, a successful one, you're going to have to do the hard yards. You're going to have to wake up early in the morning, sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes you're going to be working until the evening. So if you can hear a bit of background noise, that's Harry outside of my office here at PEPT HQ running a boot camp. Okay, so he's going to finish up at 7:30 tonight. He's going to be back here at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning running the early morning session tomorrow. Okay, so it is going to be hard work, but it's rewarding work. You get to literally change people's lives and make a massive difference to their lives. So in my opinion, the absolute best job you could possibly ever find. Now, I've been doing it for 8 years now, and I'm still excited every day to get up and wake up. My job's very different to what it was 8 years ago, but now I get to go and help other people build their careers and build their businesses and help them help more people. I still just love seeing people out there working out, having a smile on their face. I see the photos popping up on Facebook of people who have changed their lives and hearing their stories whenever I go to a different location. It's really amazing. So you have this huge opportunity, but you've got to be prepared to do the work, okay? First and foremost, if you're allergic to hard work, not the career path for you. Okay. Next up, different courses available. What are the different types of courses? Okay, so there's 3 main types. There's a face-to-face course. Now, typically you'll only find these purely face-to-face courses in capital cities. Generally, you'll be talking about 12 weeks of full-time study, where you'll actually go into the city, into the classroom with 20 odd other people, and you'll have a teacher going through stuff with you face-to-face for about 12 weeks for 4 or 5 days a week if you're doing the full-time version. If you're doing the 3-day-a-week version, that'll stretch out to more like 6 to 12 months, depending on how much time you actually commit to it. So that's face-to-face, which is great if you love that kind of learning, and you don't have to work to pay the bills. You can take 12 weeks off work, go and get it done, fantastic. But what our experience is that most people just can't take 12 weeks off work to go and study, or kids and all that kind of stuff. The next one is a purely online course. So that means you literally do everything online. And at the end of that, you'll go and organize some work experience somewhere at a gym or with a friend of yours who's a PT, something like that. The problem with the online version is you're going to get a lack of mentoring, a lack of someone showing you the way. Okay, but the great thing about it is very flexible. You can work full time, you can study on the weekends. If you've got a busy week, you can study less. If you've got a few days off, you can study more and get a heap done. Okay, and you're very reliant on finding yourself a good mentor. So if you've already got one, that's amazing. But what you might find is while they are potentially a great PT, they may not have time to give you a huge amount of mentoring for free. Just because you've got to do your 100 hours of work experience, right? So they might be a great PT, they might not be a great mentor or coach. So that's a trap to look out for. And the third course is a combination of those two. So it's a hybrid course. Typically you'll do and the way we do it is a hybrid course. So we offer a personal training course, and most of you would be aware of that, which I'll walk you through the details a little bit later. But it's a hybrid course. So you do your theory work online, which gives you that flexibility, and then you do your practical work face-to-face. So for example, over the last 3 days, so Wednesday, today, tomorrow, and Saturday, we have one of our PEPT Academy workshops happening. So the guys here are here learning all the exercises, teaching each other, practicing with our COO, Ramana, as well as myself. getting in there and helping out with some of the workshops as well. I just took the guys across to our Caboolture studio this evening to show them a different place and watch some different trainers and learn from some different people, meet some different clients, etc., etc. So it's a blended learning experience. And then once they've finished that, they'll do 8 to 12 weeks of work experience where they'll actually come down and help us run our sessions. So they're getting real world experience with real world clients and helping people, every day, just like they will be once they graduate. And that means they're going to graduate job ready. Now, if you do the online version of the course, that's the least job ready you're going to be, because you've literally done all this stuff online. You've maybe done a few work experience hours at a gym or something like that, in which case they'll probably get you cleaning the equipment half the time, shining the mirrors, that kind of thing, just to keep you busy, right? You're not likely to get a whole lot of actual great experience, okay? In the face-to-face course, you're going to be training and practicing with other people that are doing their course, right, which are generally pretty fit, switched on with their training people, not the people you're actually going to be dealing with on a day-to-day basis, okay? So our way of doing it with the real-world learning experience gives you that job readiness at the end, where you can feel confident to go and help people straight away, along with the flexibility of doing the theory work at your own pace, in your own time, when it's convenient for you, okay? So we like that course, but depending on who you are and where you live and what your life's like, then that's going to vary, obviously, okay? So they're the 3 different types of courses and what you can expect from each one in terms of levels of support, etc., etc. Now, here's a big one. A lot of people do a PT course to get a certificate because they think they already know, right? They think they can already go out and be a PT. I just need a piece of paper, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that in my experience, that's very rare. And I was one of those people who thought that. And then I actually went out and started and realized how bad I actually was. So when you want to get job ready, this is a photo of one of our Super Saturdays not long ago. That's me in the middle. You can see all those blue shirts. They're our dream team from all our different locations. There's probably about a quarter of our dream team in one spot there. And that's at what we call our PEPTCon. Okay, so we've actually got a PEPTCon this weekend every 3rd month. So every quarter we have a PEPTCon. All our location owners, all our academites, which is the people who are in our PEPT Academy, come together and we spend the weekend learning, sharing our experiences, getting to know one another, understanding each other's challenges and helping each other out. So that's really cool and really, really powerful, right? So what I'm here to tell you, and there's a photo of Julie, our Coolangatta location owner and one of her clients. What I'm here to tell you that being job ready is 80% about your people skills, okay, and how you can manage, someone's emotions, how you can actually lead someone to change their life, okay, not just teach them how to do squats and push-ups, because that is not the point. That's the 20% of technique, okay? But 80% of it is how can I help this person see a brighter future and how can I lead them towards that? Now, if you're interested in training groups like we do, here you can see a group of about 50, 60 people. How can I run a session for 10, 20, 30, 50, 60, 100 people, whatever? How can I run that, make it smooth, understanding different people's limitations? I've got people that are super great athletes in there. I've got beginners in there. How can I make sure everyone's having fun and being challenged at the same time? So 80% of your success as a personal trainer is going to come down to your people skills, being able to manage and lead people, okay, and understand people. 20% of your success is going to come down to technical knowledge. Now, most personal training courses have that the other way around. They focus 80% on the technique of stuff, which obviously is important and will certainly teach you that. Okay, but we have a much higher focus on how you can actually help people and change their lives, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to make you a successful or an unsuccessful personal trainer. Okay, hope that makes sense. Huge, huge, huge point that we could harp on all day. Okay, moving along. So we want to avoid being one of the 80%. Now, that goes without saying. Number one step in making that happen is to start with the end in mind. So I'm going to walk you through in just a moment the different opportunities there are in terms of when you graduate. Like, before you start a course, in my opinion anyway, you need to have a bit of an understanding of the different options that are available so that you can actually start thinking about that. So many people finish their course and then get to a point where like, oh, now what do I do? Right? They have no idea. So I'm going to walk you through the different options. And I want you to have in mind, like, which one's best for me? Which one do I think? You don't have to be certain right now, but you have to have an idea of what I might like to do when I finish my course, because it's only going to be a few months away from when you start it, right? So there in that photo, you can see the back of Ramana's head. She's our COO, our Chief Operations Officer. She's in charge of our academy and delivering the practical components, okay, of the course and helping people get up to speed. She also teaches all of our new team members how to be great at their jobs, whether that be in the sales side of the business or the training side of the business. And she also teaches all of our new location owners the ropes as well. So she spends a week with all of our new location owners, getting them up to speed on how to run a great PEPT location. Number two, to avoid being one of the 80% of people who graduate their course and never work in the fitness industries, you need to get the right mentor. You need to have the right people around you. So most of the people in a fitness college, for example, the people that are teaching you, are not actively growing a personal training business. At best, they might have a few clients on the side that they do for like a cashier or something like that, but they're not actually successful personal trainers. Yet they're the people who are supposedly teaching you how to become a successful personal trainer. So there's a little bit of a disconnect. It's kind of like the teacher teaching at business school, but they don't have a business, but they're teaching everyone how to run a business, right? Doesn't make sense. So in PEPT Academy, you've got Ramana, who is in charge of the day-to-day operations of our Australian business. You've got myself, who started this thing and is in charge of all 36 locations, okay? And I'm talking with all the guys who run those different locations on a weekly basis and learning literally every single week. I blow my mind with how much stuff that we learn and how much improvement we've got, right? So we're out there doing it is the point that I'm making. We're out there building this business, helping thousands of people, okay? And we're learning new things every week, which you get to benefit from as being a part of the academy, okay? Cool. And there you can see Simon with one of our clients up in Rocky, just being an amazing, helpful hand there, wiping some sweat off the face. And you need to find the right system for you. So I'm going to tell you a bit about PEPT Academy shortly and how that works, but that might not be the right system for you. So if you want to go and coach bodybuilders, then I would definitely not recommend you come and do our academy. In fact, I wouldn't even let you do it because it's not going to be right for you. But if you can see yourself potentially being a part of what we do here at PEPT, either working in one of our locations or owning a PEPT location, then obviously it's going to be the best fit for you because you're going to learn how we do it, okay? As opposed to just the generic course, let's get you a certificate and then push you out the door, okay? So you need to find the right system that's going to work for you and your end goal, and that's why you need to know what that end is. You need to start with the end in mind so you can figure out the best way for you to get yourself qualified. All right, so let me walk you through some of the different job and career opportunities available to you out there in the big bad world. And there are 4 that I'm going to touch on. Here's some photos you can see just of what we do with our team and with our clients, having a good time. Option number 1, you can get a job at PEPT. Now, we currently have a team of 84 people, okay? So we're growing really fast. We've got 36 locations right now. By the end of this year, our goal is to actually have 100 locations. Now, that might sound ridiculous. Maybe it is. I don't know. Time will tell. But we've got a solid plan, and we've gone from 13 to 36 over the last 18 months or so. So we're really starting to grow quickly, and with that quick growth means we need more people. And we find that's why we invented this PEPT Academy, in fact, so that we can actually find great people and then teach them how to be great trainers and great in terms of our business, so that we can help them build and grow a career rather than going out there and finding people who are already qualified, but we don't even know if they're a good cultural fit to our business, okay, which can be really dangerous if we chuck, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 of those people in at once or within a short span of time, that can be really toxic and dangerous to our culture, which we don't want to risk. So option number one, you can get a job at PEPT. Option number two, you can get a job anywhere else. So the PEPT Academy course, for example, is a nationally accredited course, but if you go and do any course in Australia, it's got to be nationally accredited. Otherwise, it's not a real course, okay? And someone's taking you for a ride. But basically what that means is you've got a Cert 3 or a Cert 4, and you can go and apply that anywhere in Australia, okay? So you can get a job anywhere, of course. You can run your own business. That's a really popular option. That's what I did. A lot of people try that and realize that it's a little bit harder than maybe they thought, okay? Because just like running any business, there's a lot to it. It's a complicated game. There's plenty of moving parts. You've got to learn sales, you've got to learn marketing, you've got to learn the delivery, you've got to learn client retention, you've got to learn hiring people, firing people, managing people, you've got to do all the legal stuff. It can be quite complicated, which is why the last option is really popular in the fitness industry, which is own a franchise. And certainly we have that option here at PEPT. Out of our 35 locations, 35 minus 12 equals what? 23? 24 locations are franchised, okay? So, and the rest are either company owned or in partnerships. So, hope that makes sense. There's 4 real options. If you can think of another one, that's great. But there's 4 main options in terms of the fitness industry. Okay, getting a job at PEPT is great. Get a job somewhere else if that's what suits you. Fantastic, good for you. Run your own business or own a franchise, whether that's a PEPT franchise, another franchise. Kind of like the gap in between getting a job and running your own business. You get a lot of the stuff fast-tracked for you. You don't have to go through the years of heartache and learning, where someone else has already done that for you and can show you the way and get you to the end result much quicker. Okay, so what I want to walk you through now is, because if you're on this webinar, you're obviously interested in becoming a personal trainer. I want to make sure you understand how our PEPT Academy works. So I'm just going to run you through the details of that for the next 10 minutes or so. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the little question box and we'll get to those for you. So why PEPT Academy? This is a couple of our PEPTCon/academies in play there. So part of PEPT Academy, before I get to the dot points, I'll just ramble on for a bit about these photos because it's interesting. But with our PEPTCon, that's when all our trainers and location owners come together. Over the weekend here, we're going to have about 30 odd of our team here in one spot out of the 84. So the others will be back at their locations keeping the show running. And Academites or people in PEPT Academy get to come along and experience that as well. Okay, so they get to learn from people who are out there growing really successful businesses, get to learn from team members in those businesses as well, get to learn from myself, get to learn from Coach Brad, who's my business coach, who will be doing a workshop on the weekend as well, which is really, really cool. And we have our hot seat sessions with some of our most successful location owners about all the things that they're learning in the last quarter since our last PEPCon. So the PEPT vision is to create a healthier, happier world through positive action. So when you do PEPT Academy, you're going to become part of something bigger than yourself. And the goal of PEPT Academy is not to get you qualified and kick you out the door. The goal of PEPT Academy is to get you qualified and into a career. Okay, we need people, whether that be location owners or team members. We got someone, her name is Amelia, who's in our academy at the moment. She's about halfway through, and in 4 weeks' time, she's actually starting full-time here at PEPT HQ into a full-time position. Okay, so she hasn't even finished her academy yet, but she's got a full-time job. So that's really, really cool. And that's just an example of she signs up for academy, proves herself to be a great fit for our business, proves herself to be a great, have a great work ethic, have a great attitude. We want those people. We'll make a position for that person. Okay, we need more of those people on our team. You're going to learn from those active and successful in the industry. I already mentioned that, so we'll skip through there. We mentioned this one as well. We're growing fast around the globe. So in India, we currently have 1 location. That's going to be at least 10 by the end of the year as we get We're literally in the process of signing our first crew up for our academy in India this week, which is really exciting. And some of those guys will come on to become our franchise owners over there, as well as opening some more company-owned locations in India. January, we launch into Indonesia, and in 2018, we're also going to China. Okay, so why does that interest you? I don't know. But some of you guys may be interested in the future, like a lot of our Australian location owners and Dream Team are, in potentially going and opening and being a part of those businesses, as in owning stakes in those businesses in different countries. Okay, so one of our location owners is planning on next year opening in either Japan or Singapore and joining forces with us to be able to do that. So that's really, really cool. Huge opportunities. So there's no limit. You might just be sitting there thinking, I just want a job as a PT, and that's great. But if you're a bit more, you want to make a huge impact on the world and you want to see some of the world and do some really cool things along the way, then there's that opportunity too. So academites get priority for two reasons. One, we like to reward people who have trusted us to help them and invested in us. And two, because we simply have a relationship with you. So we get to know you as you come and do your workshops, you come to PEPCon, you're joining in on our webinars, which I'll explain shortly. But we get to know you and we get to know the kind of person you are. And if we think that's a person's a great fit for our business, of course we're going to gravitate towards you as opposed to a stranger that we don't know, right? A lot of the time we don't even advertise our jobs because someone from Academy walks straight into it. Okay, so why would we go looking elsewhere when we've got someone here who's doing awesome work in their academy? We can help them get even better and join our team. And like I mentioned, it's a nationally accredited course, so even if you decide it's not for you, or maybe we decide, hey, we don't think you're a great fit for PEPT, we think you're more down this style, or go work in a gym, which is more your scene, and we can point you in the right direction and you can go and do that. So you're not limited. What do you get? Great question. Okay, flexible online learning so you can fit it in around your commitment. So like I said, it's a hybrid course. Theory work online, practical work face-to-face at one of our locations and at our HQ here. Monthly webinar. So that's like this, where we'll have a topic of the month. Last week we did our nutrition for trainers webinar. Next time we're doing a mindset webinar. We've got a personality profile one that we do. We go more into depth in the nutrition stuff as well. So we've got two different nutrition ones. Sales is a really important one. How to actually get someone onto a program so that you can help them, etc., etc. So most of the time I run those webinars. Sometimes Romana, our COO, runs them. She's expert in certain areas, certainly getting them off the ground. I'm more of an expert in the leadership stuff and the psychology stuff and all of that. And sometimes we get a special guest like our physio Nick, who's our physio that we've been working with for the last 8 years since ever I've been in business. Coach Brad comes on and runs the odd webinar as well. So you get to have all these different experiences with different people, which is really cool. Unlimited work experience at any of our PEPT locations. Like I said, we have 35 locations currently in Australia. That number is growing quickly, and that's really exciting. We have one in India. If you want to go and do some work experience there, you're welcome. I'll take you next trip. Quarterly PEPTCon. So like I said, that's happening this weekend here at PEPT HQ in Redcliffe. So you'll get always an invite, open invitation to that one, which is really cool. You get to learn with all the other location owners and Dream Team. Practical workshop every month. So you don't need to come to that every single month, but you'll come to at least one of those, which is 3.5 days of full-on intensive workshop here at our PEPT HQ. We have one of those in September up in Rockhampton as well for any of you CQ guys. And as we grow, we'll have one in different cities. We've got a couple of people over in Perth, so we're going to do one over there shortly as well. So, yeah, that's really cool. But my recommendation is you get yourself here to HQ in Redcliffe because you're going to get to see the most cool stuff, okay? We've got 10 or 12 locations within a half an hour drive of here, so you get to see different. I just took the guys out to Caboolture this afternoon to meet the boys out there who are doing a great job, Jake and Dave, which is a really cool experience, and get to see them run a session and join. Actually, that photo at the top right, that's Jake and Dave's location at Caboolture. Okay, so that's where we were this afternoon. This one in the bottom left, that's our Rockhampton studio, and a bunch of our VIC clients there posing for a photo. So that's cool. Email and phone access to the IFA team. So we team up with IFA. They look at, that's International Fitness Academy. They look after all the theory work for you, and they're awesome. Reese has a great team there, and we've been working with those guys now for about 18 months. And we're also working with them with our Indian PEPT Academy as well. And you get access to us as the HQ team. We have a private Facebook group, so whenever you have a question, hey, I read this article, do you think should I be worried about this or whatever? We'll give you some feedback, or I'll shoot a video reply to answer your questions. So it's really, really cool. Okie dokie. And next slide. Now, Emma, I can see you've got a question there, but currently I can't use my mouse until I end this slideshow. So bear with me and I'll get to that question. All right. And you say you live in Sydney. We have a location in Sydney. We're looking for more, and I'll actually be in Sydney in July doing a talk for personal trainers to help them grow their businesses, and that's one of the ways where we get new location owners. So Sydney is a huge one. So the different options, you've got a certificate 3 in fitness. That allows you to run boot camps, write gym programs. You can work in a gym, show new clients around, show them how to use the equipment. But what you can't do with the Cert 3 is personal training, so one-on-one stuff, because often you'll get people with a bit more complicated, a few injuries and that kind of thing. So you do need to do a Cert 4 for that. And as well as just advancing your knowledge, just going to know more because you've done more study, right? So you're going to be able to answer more questions and be more knowledgeable. Most people do both, so you can't do a Cert 4 without already having a Cert 3. So most people do the Cert 3 and 4 program. Okay, pretty simple. All right, so I'm going to talk to you about Shade, one of our location owners over at Mitchelton, to give you a bit of a story. And this is how PEPT Academy works, right? So Shade came to us 3 years ago as a client. She just wanted to improve her fitness, right? She'd never done gym and stuff like that before. She was working in admin for an insurance business, but really wanted a career change. She didn't know what at that point in time, but she wasn't happy, right? 5 months after being a client, she decided to join our PEPT Academy and get started on her study because she was loving the sessions, and she became really good friends with Romana, who at that point was running those sessions at, I believe it was Petrie at the time. And 5 months into her course, she joined the team. So in other words, we gave her a job and she started running sessions at our Clayfield and Mitchelton locations. And then 3 months after that, she took over our Mitchelton location as her own franchise. And now she's in the process of hiring somebody, which is really, really cool. So she's grown her business to a point where she needs help to keep growing it. And that's an amazing thing for someone, in their early 20s. Okay, so really, really cool. And literally been a business owner for, I don't know exactly, probably like 6 months now. So if you know anything about the fitness industry, that's incredibly good. Okay, so enough about Shade, enough about PEPT Academy. What's it going to cost? Cert 3 and 4, which most people do, have 3 options. Really, really simple. You can do an upfront payment of $4,997. Most people do that because you're going to save money. Option number 2 is a 4-month payment plan where you can either do fortnightly payments or you can do 16 weekly payments of $343. Of course, you pay a little bit extra for the convenience. And option number 3 is you pay it off over 32 weeks to make your weekly payments a little bit smaller. So if you want to go more into depth, or you have a few questions about your situation, or how can we do this, or is PEPT Academy for me, all I would welcome you to do is just pop that in a question here. Just say, yep, here's my phone number. Just type your phone number in and we'll literally give you a call tomorrow to discuss that and figure out if it is a good fit for you. And if it is, of course, we can help you get started. Now, some of you might be thinking, I just want to run boot camps. So if you were just going to do a Cert 3, then you're looking at an upfront of $2,997, a 4-month payment plan of $212 a week for 16 weeks, or the 34 weeks over 8 months will be $111 a week. Okay, so that's pretty simple. Same for a Cert 4. If you're sitting there, you already got a Cert 3, but you need to do your Cert 4. It's the same pricing structure. So pretty simple, the steps for rocking and rolling. But like I said, really all you got to do right now is say, yep, cool, give me a call tomorrow. Here's my phone number, and Casey will give you a call first thing in the morning to discuss. Okay, cool. So Emma's got a great question. I live in Sydney, but really love the sound of PEPT. That's great, Emma. Living in Sydney, would it be hard to get the most out of the course? Not at all. So we have PEPT Academy people from all over the place, and I can tell you why it's actually a great benefit to you. So being in Sydney, we do have a location there, which is Bruce. Okay, he's in Enfield, which I believe is somewhere near Concord. I don't know Sydney incredibly well, but hopefully that helps. So you can do some work experience with Bruce in Sydney, no problem at all. The second thing I would do is get yourself up to here. Next time we have a PEPTCon or one of our workshop weeks where you can come up here, spend a few days with us. You might know some people in Brisbane you can stay with, or we quite regularly find places for you to stay. Okay, so you don't even have to fork out. You can come and stay with one of our trainers who are more than welcoming, and they can get you to and fro the gym every day for your training. So for the cost of an airfare, which are pretty cheap these days, you can get an awesome experience, okay, and learn from some really amazing people. As well as you've got our monthly webinars, which you'll be sitting at home just like you are right now doing that. So that's cool. And all the learning, all the theory work is online anyway. So that's pretty simple. So you're going to get the same experience. The only thing different for you is you have to jump on a plane once. Okay. So come up, spend a few days with us, have a bit of fun, and then go home, do some work experience with Bruce. Even if you live a little bit away from where he is, you go there every Saturday and help out at the Saturday sessions, and that can be your work experience. And the great thing about that, Emma, is that we don't have many locations in Sydney, just the one currently. Like I said, I'm going there next month to try and change that. But you've literally, if you wanted to open a location after you finish your course, you've got your pick, okay? And we'll have a talk to you about where's the best area. We'll go through the demographics and what we know works and what doesn't work. And we'll pick out, these places are really good potential. We'll go through do some test marketing and figure out, right, this location here is going to be awesome. So I hope that makes sense. So it can be a really, really great thing that there's less locations there, because if you come to us from North Brisbane and you say, hey, great, I want to do the course and then open a location, well, you're going to have to move to open your location, because pretty much all of North Brisbane is taken, because that's where we've started and we've kind of branched out throughout that area. So it's actually a really cool thing. So in any case, if there's any more questions, feel free to pop them through. If there's no more questions, that is cool. You'll get an email from me in the morning just to retouch base. I'll pop this recording in with that. So if there's anything you wanted to go over, or maybe you need to show your partner a thing or two, if they're involved in this decision with you, that's cool as well. And like I said, all you got to do is reach out, and we'll give you a call to discuss the ins and outs, and we'll rock and roll from there. So team, thanks so much for tuning in to tonight and spending your last 45 minutes with me here. Really appreciate that. And I hope you learn a thing or two tonight that's going to help you in some way, shape or form. And I'm hoping to see some of you up here in one of our PEPT Academy workshops. Now, on that topic, make sure you follow me on Facebook. So it's just Jacob, Jacob McCluskey, MCLUSKIE. And I'll always be posting updates. Follow our Positive Existence Personal Training main page, and you'll see all the videos and photos and whatnot from all of our sessions, as well as our Academy workshops, so you can get an even better understanding of how it all works, okay? And you can see it happening. And certainly you'll see a few videos and stuff popping up over the next couple of days with our workshop that's going on, as well as our PEPTCon that's on this weekend. So team, thanks so much. Appreciate your time. Have an amazing night, and we'll see you in PEPT Academy really soon. Bye-bye.